Beer Brew Thursday! Woo! And we're here at the Brewery, and that's spelled B-R-U-E-R-Y, which is probably, I think, at least on the West Coast, is probably one of the most up-and-coming breweries around these
definitely.
days. You know, Stone's kind of the old man these days, and you guys are the young up-and-coming whippersnappers. And
Still doing great things.
oh, absolutely. You can't hate on Stone or their beers or any of the old-timers. I mean, they were the pioneers, but you guys are really kind of out on the edge. It's one of the reasons I think the brewery's really quickly becoming one of my favorite brewers.
It makes it more fun for us.
And speaking of the brewers, we're with Tyler King, who is the head brewmaster at the brewery. And you look like you could be my little brother. So, how old do you have to be a brewer?
I just turned 25.
Wow.
Last Monday, a week ago. So I started off when I was 17 years old.
Awesome.
That's pretty impressive.
And where'd you get your start at? I know I told you I wasn't going to interview you, but you know.
Started homebrewing in high school.
Okay.
And I got my first job in college. Moved out of the house, had to get a job. What better way of making money doing something you love?
Right.
So I got a job at BJ's Restaurant Brewery. Started off washing kegs, cleaning tanks, doing all the grunt work. Just kind of worked my way up.
Awesome.
Right on.
So you were brewing beer before you were legally able to drink it. That's excellent.
I think that's from what I've heard from a number of
It's kind of where
brewers.
they start.
That's how it starts. They finally get to 21. It's like, now I can sell it and drink it and do
People
whatever
won't buy
I
you a
want.
case of beer, but they'll go in and buy you the equipment to buy the beer.
Yeah. So
I never
awesome.
really drank my beer though. When
Oh,
I first
right
started
on.
making it, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it-
speaking from some experience, I'm starting out as a home brewer myself. I've done about 3 or 4 batches, and yeah, they're not good at all. I've made a couple of sours that weren't supposed to be. So,
you brought up when we first started that the brewery was spelled B-R-U-E-R-Y. Why
Yeah,
is that?
the owner's last name, Patrick, the CEO and founder, it's Brew, R-U-E.
R-U-E.
So he kind of stuck that in brewery,
Right.
and that's what he called his home brew, like his home brewery.
right on.
And he was trying to think of names for when he was opening up this place. He kind of just carried that name over to
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I think that's like the perfect name.
And I think
right.
I like the shirts and the bottles all have familial brew on there,
Yeah.
which it kind of just it's awesome. It kind of gives it like a family feel to the brewery and all that kind of thing. So I really like this place. We're actually inside the actual brewery, but this is the tap room for the brewery, where you can come and sample whatever they've got on tap. There's kegs, there's barrels aging around here, and I know I probably can sniff out some Black Tuesday in a few of these barrels. So, but it's a great environment.
Yeah.
We brought our own food with us because you guys don't serve food here. Occasionally there's a food truck out front that, for like events and whatnot.
We like to serve food. We're not allowed to.
Right.
So we're working on that. We're trying to see what we could do.
I like that sign though. The sorry we don't serve food,
Yeah,
just beer. Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
yeah, I like this place a lot. Like I was here a little bit early, and I was fortunate enough to try some of the beers here in the tasting room. And yeah, it's an awesome vibe you have here. I mean, we'll show establishment shots, and get the whole vibe going. But it's a sweet place.
Me and Steve we've been here a few times hanging out because you guys are only open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, right?
Yeah.
For the tasting or hanging out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Other
when they're
times
open,
they're busy making the awesome beer.
yeah, it's really cool hanging out because you're actually hanging out inside of the brewery itself, and it's just awesome to look around. And
It
it's
feels
really,
like every time I've come here, it feels like an after party. Like you
dude, I was just about
finished
to
working,
say,
and you're just.
it's a really cool environment. Everyone that's here is like everybody is just super cool. You can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hang out here. And I've only been here a couple times, so
Cool.
I'm sure I'll be back a lot more.
Well, I'm kind of chomping at the bit for this beer. So what we're drinking today is the Hottenroth, the brewery's Hottenroth. It's a 3.1 by volume alcohol, and which is really low. This is like below session.
Yeah.
So it's a good beer to drink
It's
in
like
the
a
afternoon.
Utah beer.
Yeah, and it's a Berliner Weisse with a tart wheat ale. So it's a sour, but having I'm new to sours, never really had one.
I'm a virgin to sours.
And when I tried this one, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the greatest thing that I had my lips on for a while, which came out wrong. But here you go, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I had this for the first time. Where are you? on Saturday when we were here, and it's awesome. I was drinking it very slow though. It's very hard to drink fast. It's a really good sipping kind of beer because it's so sour, you know. So
I think most of our employees probably disagree. We just say they can pound this.
Really?
I think once you get used
maybe
to
I'm
the,
just not used to it.
yeah, once you get used to the tartness, and because I know like I had one glass the other night, and it was the very first time I tried it, and it was like, wow, okay. It was like you kind of pucker up a little bit, but then after the second glass, like yeah, I didn't even. I just got the wonderful sour qualities.
Yeah.
I didn't get the reaction to it, and I was able to just kind of go with it.
It took us a few batches for us to dial down the tartness of the beer. The first time we brewed it was not as tart as we wanted. Kind of kept going at it. Probably like generation 3, we got it to where we were very happy with it.
Right on.
So
And
Yeah.
this is like kind of what I'm talking about with, because like you guys don't have like breweries, like the closest thing you have to an Imperial Russian Stout is Black Tuesday, which is impossible to get unless you want to get on eBay now at this point. Although I plan to pull him in a room after the show and see what I can do. But as far as like having like a IPA or the traditional styles of beer that you see on the market from other breweries, you guys really don't do that.
we try and change it up a little bit. Keep it fresh, interesting. Makes it more fun for us and for our customers.
I love that. And that to me, that's what craft beer is about. It's just not worrying about like, oh, well, we have to have an IPA because all breweries have an IPA.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make kick-ass beers, and people can drink them or not, whatever. Like, it's awesome, whatever.
Yeah, every single one of your beers is completely unique. Like, it's, you know, I heard of you, I was talking to Steve earlier about your company, actually, and I know your name more than your beer. I've only had 3 of them, I think, so far, and they've all been completely unique. I'm not a big Belgian beer fan right now, and some of your Belgian-style beers, really good. Like, it's not like, oh, yep, this is what I expected. It's like, oh, it has that taste to it, but there's something else that makes it different, and that, you know, I really like it.
I think most people would recognize Two Turtle Doves and probably White Orchard.
Orchard White.
Orchard White, yeah. And but the Hottenroth I've seen on the shelves, and but it doesn't get a lot of play.
Yeah. Hottenroth originally was just supposed to be a summertime beer.
Okay.
And we released it, people loved it. Eventually we just got like such a high demand for it. Now we brew it almost year round.
Wow.
It's takes a while to make, sits in the tank for almost 2 months. So it's hard to like put it out the door really quick. But if we can brew it and get it out as fast as we can, we do.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I think what really interests me about this beer is that you do get that initial like sour, that like tart reaction, but there's a great sweetness that follows it.
Yeah.
That really just kind of they don't blend together. They just kind of like, okay, you had the tart, now you get the sweet, and it's just a great, the whole feel of the drink all the way through is unique, and I like that a lot. So
Yeah.
This
So-
is brewed with 2-row red flaked wheat, and we pitch it with our house, like one of our house sour blends.
Okay.
It's mostly lactobacillus. That's what's producing the
Right.
tartness of the beer. And we have a little bit of Brettanomyces in there, and a few
Okay.
other organisms, but you're getting a majority of just lactose giving you that nice tartness.
right on.
Yeah, I would describe it kind of as like a white wine initial taste, but then it's definitely like a beer aftertaste. And maybe that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about with like the
Well,
bitter
I-
and then the sweet.
I definitely see this as a good beer for like converting wine drinkers. Someone who's really into wine, who's that kind of flavor to them, like especially a white wine drinker, I think would really go after this beer well. You know, so and because it's such a low alcohol content, it's great for your mother. You know, unless she's a little tipsy, but you know.
I've been
So-
at 2 beer festivals where females actually really enjoy this drink.
Yeah.
So the sourness might get them. They don't
Right.
always expect that tartness, but
Right.
Yeah. So it's a fantastic beer. As always, we pair the beer
Yeah, I
with
was
some
going to
food.
say, what are we pairing this
Yeah,
with?
that's
Because I'm
So,
really interested
right now
to
the
see.
flies are getting more of it than we are, so that's not good. Right now we're doing a brie. I went kind of like a wide spectrum with this. So we're doing a brie. This is a goat's milk smoked Gouda, and then a French Roquefort cheese. So dig in, you guys. And I think that each of these will complement this beer in a different way, but
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, for me the Gouda cuts down the sour quite a bit.
Really?
Cuts that sour a little bit because it's got its own kind of tang to it.
It definitely cuts the sour.
Yeah, and so it kind of overpowers the sour a little bit with its own tang. But I think it blends well.
Again, for me, the cracker is just like
I like the earthiness of these.
Yeah.
the cracker just kills everything for me.
Yeah, these wheat crackers I think are kind of a fail. I think I'm going to go with just the cheese right now.
Well, it's not necessarily the taste of the cracker. It's just like it
The
absorbs
texture's
all the
off.
flavor.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I'm like that with a lot of the stuff we try, though. I don't like trying it with a lot of the crackers and all that. It just takes
Right.
a lot of the flavor away.
Yeah, you're right. The Gouda does take it down a notch. I didn't
Brie
get much
really
out of the
doesn't do
Brie.
anything.
Yeah.
The Brie does nothing with this.
Yeah.
It's like I am basically a piece of rubber in your mouth at this point.
Yeah.
So-
Just letting everything pass by me.
Okay, which is which now?
The really dark one you're going to have to at least scoop with the cracker because
All right.
I don't want you digging your fingers around in my food.
Why not?
This
Oh wow.
That does taste good.
yeah.
With this, it's not a blue cheese, is it? Or
It's a French Roquefort.
Rochefort?
Yeah,
Roquefort,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's really good.
This is definitely going to bring a lot more of the tanginess out. But again, it does kind of cut the sour down just a little bit.
Yeah, and I was really curious to see what you were going to pair this with because I would have no idea.
I can see the Rochefort going really good with Saison.
That's what I was thinking too. That's why when we didn't know for sure if we were going to have this, I was like, yeah, the Saison will be fine. We can do the Saison too. So
If you want, we could pull a bottle out. We could try
Let's
it.
do
we
it.
might have to do that, yes.
That's what you're brewing right now, right?
No, they're doing the Saison de Lana,
Uh,
which will be a spring seasonal. And maybe if you could just point out like where the next year's Black Tuesday is, so I can come in and hug those little barrels whenever I come in next year.
Kind of scattered all throughout.
Scattered throughout.
They have special names on them so you can't tell what they are.
Right.
To be honest, I don't think I even know exactly where they are.
That's a good. You bring up an interesting point. Like, how do you you throw them all in there and they're all dated as far as when they were brewed, when they were barreled, and so like, do you have like a little timer that pops up on your Google Calendar that says, "Hey, go open that barrel up"?
Release most of the beers around a certain time, besides our specialties. So when it comes to that time of the year, we know we need to start digging through, finding all the barrels,
Okay.
pull them out, taste each one, make sure each one is of quality, and then blend them together to what like the best possible blend we come up with.
Right on.
And go from
So
there.
how do you apply for a job as the guy that comes in and tastes them to make sure?
Yeah,
they're
that's what I was
quality?
thinking.
That's a good question. I
He
don't know.
goes, that's the brewmaster and the owner's job. So, well, right on. That's the other thing that you can do, at least if you're here, and I suppose you could do it at home too, is if you're not really into the sour, but you want to try this as a beer, and you just know right off the top that you don't like sours, I would still say try it anyway. But if you try it and you don't like it, add some like raspberry. We have the syrups here. I'll just grab this one right here. Here at the tasting room, you can put in like a raspberry syrup. You have a few other flavors, and it just it sweetens it up, kills the sour taste to it,
Just to try this a little bit.
gives it a whole different flavor profile. It's a whole different beer at that point.
Yeah.
You can add it to your flavor, like what you're looking for, but usually you just add like a dash of it. You don't want to
Right.
overpower the beer.
Yeah, it just barely colors it. It's not like it turns red or anything like that. It's just like a light pink. It's almost like a blush wine at that point.
Yeah.
should we get a
And,
demonstration?
Yeah. This one looks like it
That's
has
not opened, yeah.
There's a German one right there. That should be.
This one?
Yep.
So I'm gonna.
The best possible way is just put a little bit in an empty glass and pour your beer into it. Mix it together pretty well.
Well, who's almost done?
I'll grab one of the general glasswares.
That is syrup.
It's good right there. Way more than enough.
He's like, yeah, you just ruined the beer. Congratulations. You fail at life.
Steve's a noob at this.
I am. We're gonna have to. Some more there.
I don't think I've tasted it with the syrup.
That looks about the right color that I remember.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right
kinda-
there.
it's kind of hard to control your
I can brew at
voice,
25, but you know. All right, so you do the honors, sir.
All right. Before. Oh wow, yeah. It does cut down all the bitter.
Let me try it. It smells like raspberry too, obviously.
Yeah, the aroma.
You're right. It does kind of turn into a soda kind of taste to it.
It tastes good, but I like it straight up.
Yeah.
It's really, really good straight up.
I prefer without the syrup.
Yeah, and I've had it both ways, and I do this.
I could drink forever.
Yeah,
This I could see like
this is
wearing
almost
down.
like I'm sitting by the pool all day long. I've got like 15 bottles of Hottenroth in
It's
my cooler.
it's kind of like a cocktail too.
Right, exactly.
You know? Now that you bring that up, yeah.
But I think you make a good point about it smelling raspberry, because the aroma on this is unique as far as like
it's really weird to me.
you get it's almost like a citrusy aroma that I get off of this.
We get a lot of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Some people pick up Cheerio almost, like
Right.
cereal. Usually the fresher it is, kind of the more cereal.
Right.
But I think mostly in our sensory pounds, we get a lot of lemon.
Yeah, it's almost like drinking a alcoholic lemonade, but way better, because like Mike's Hard Lemonade, that kind of stuff, like
no.
doesn't even compare to this. Because I don't want to give that impression like, oh, it's an alcoholic lemonade, but you get some of that citrus profile when you're drinking it, and it almost does taste like a really, really strong lemonade.
Yeah.
It's got a good flavor to it. I really like this beer a lot. So, but we really appreciate you guys taking some time off from your day, because I know you guys are doing a 24-hour brew today, or
It's our first 24-hour day.
first 24-hour day. Wow, hitting the big leagues.
I guess that's a good sign.
It's pretty crazy.
Is there a reason for that you can share? Or
Just work.
Just work. You just got a lot to do.
We pick up a micro K contract,
Okay.
so we're doing about 500 cakes a month.
Wow.
Compared, we usually get less than 100 a month, like for sure, probably around 30.
Right.
So just you have to have people in here and washing kegs, filling kegs, and
Wow.
So are you
ready to ship out.
Are you meeting the capacity now that this can actually, like the throughput that this place can actually do?
Yeah, we're pretty much running at 100% right now.
Wow.
So you're not going to get rid of the tap room that I'm putting in there? Oh, I don't like the way that sounds.
No, we won't get rid of it. We'll probably just either move it or
Right.
increase the size. No, we're still
Open
looking
up like
at-
a brew pub style place.
We're looking into different options.
That'd be awesome.
So
That'd be awesome.
we
Well,
kind of need a space in here to
yeah,
Yeah.
just to
grow.
function. So, right on. Well, one thing I've always wondered personally, like as the brewmaster, you come up with the recipes. I assume Patrick probably has some input on that.
Yeah, a lot of people in our company do.
Okay.
Patrick does. Jonas, our director of distribution and sales, will help out sometimes.
Right on.
We have 2 brewers that will
Okay.
have input. So we all kind of get together. And,
So you feel comfortable leaving and letting them do their thing, and
oh yeah.
Okay.
I feel with our 2 brewers there, I feel more comfortable than if I was just sitting there by myself. So
right
Yeah.
on, right on.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
We can spread the work out.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
Well, again, we really appreciate you opening up to us.
Yeah. Thanks for having us down here. This is
Thanks
This
for coming.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
this will be January 14th when you're watching this. 2 days from now, if you're fortunate enough to purchase a Reserve Society membership, they'll be doing the initiation on the 16th, which kind of frightens me, like initiating. Like, do I get like
Spanked.
hashed
Are we
or,
gonna get like hoods put on our heads?
and
And,
dragged to a different brewery? And you must identify each beer blindfolded, or you can't be in it. So,
Might be fun.
yeah. He's like, wow, I'm getting some ideas.
Write it down.
So if you have the membership, or you know somebody who does, try and convince them to make them your +1, and come on down. We'll be here for sure on the 16th. Jet lagged, but we'll be here.
I'll be fine.
So hopefully we'll see you again then.
Definitely.
And so again, thanks a lot. And
Yeah,
as
totally.
always, stay
Stay
safe.
safe. Drink beer.
beer.
Cheers.